I don't know how we could do a program about down-home cooking without inviting our friend Elsie Henderson to be here in the kitchen with us again. Elsie, it's wonderful to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, Elsie well, you've been on our show a couple of times, making all kinds of delicious things. And Elsie, you actually had a career as a professional cook.
That's the only thing I've done my whole life.
Is that right? And when did you start? How old were you when you started?
Well, let me see. Oh, I guess maybe about 25.
Uh-huh.
About 25.
So you've been doing this a day and a half. Yeah.
Or a little bit longer.
Or a little bit longer. Well, Elsie sent in her recipes for fried catfish. And you also made some delicious cornbreads, which we'll look at a little bit later. Cornbread is something that I always enjoy. Every kind of cornbread I've ever tasted. I never met a cornbread I didn't like. There are some that you made that are in the shape of little fishes. Because we're having it with catfish, and you also made one that's a complete fish and a fish mold. Let me turn that around so you can see the face of the fish.
I suppose that would be the mother.
That would be the. So let's make a little cornbread. Just to give people the idea, I'm actually I'm sort of lazy. So rather than just start with
club.
Yeah, I know. Well, this just makes it so easy if you keep some of this cornmeal mix around the house, because you actually don't even have to worry about the proportions too much. It just has 2 cups of the cornmeal mix, and then if you would put an egg in there for me, Elsie. Now, you actually cooked at a place that's very famous, Falling Water, which is one of the great architectural landmarks in this whole country, one of Frank Lloyd Wright's buildings.
My home away from home for 16 years.
16 years at Falling Water. Amazing.
But I had been with the Kaufmans for 22.
Okay. So you were with them longer than they actually had to have Falling Water.
Yes,
Yeah.
I went there in 47.
Uh-huh.
And they turned it over to the Conservancy in 63.
Uh-huh.
But I was in and out all of 64 because different people would come, and Mr. Kaufman would ask me to go up there to show them around.
Right. Oh, boy. Well, to this, we're just going to add a cup and a half of milk and a little bit of salt.
And a little bit of sugar.
I like the sugar in it.
Here's a teaspoon.
It says 2 tablespoons, so I would put that, or a little bit more even. I just put it all in there.
Well,
I'll put a little more. I like it sweet. Southern people say that they don't like sweet cornbread.
I think 4.
That's good. Yeah, but being from the north myself, I like it a little sweet. And I'm going to put in a little bit of melted butter, and not just because my nickname is
Stick of butter.
Stick of Butter, Did you ever have any nicknames, Elsie?
No.
Now, I asked you this before when we were off camera, that catfish was not something that you made with any frequency for the Kaufmans, I take it.
Not ever.
No, they so this is
lobster and things like that.
Yeah.
In the fish line.
Yeah. Now, but catfish is now it's farm raised. It's wonderful. It's a clean, wonderful fish. So,
But sometimes I see it at the shop, and it's very pale, and I don't touch it. I like for it to be sort of pink, reddish, sort of.
that's how you distinguish it. I'm going to use, again, one of these terrific iron skillets in order to cook this cornmeal, or just this cornbread.
I think they are the best.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to season them, know.
Now, did you have them out at Falling Water? Did you have skillets that you worked with?
All kinds of skillets.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put this behind us and just Shake that down. I would put this into a 400 to 425 degree oven, a hot oven. You want this really to cook real quickly.
Yes.
And this makes a terrific cornbread, not as good as yours, but it just gives you an idea of what we're doing here. And we couldn't have a down-home show without making some kind of cornbread. All right, now let's get started with the fish. Okay. Catfish. Now we have.
We'll dry it off a bit.
So we have the catfish that you that cut into strips. I see. Serving size pieces.
Yes.
Are they sometimes bigger fillets or smaller or?
A little bit thicker, I think. Let's see.
Pick a couple of good pieces, huh?
I'll kind of dry them off a little bit.
All right. And again, this is farm-raised catfish. Nobody went into the stream and caught these.
No.
Okay. So now you want to dredge these in flour.
First, and it's seasoned.
Okay. And what did you season it with?
Oh, a little salt and pepper. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I put a little bit of cayenne in.
Well, we have some cayenne here. Do you want to sprinkle that in, or do you want to hold off?
We'll hold off.
Okay. We can put hot sauce on it later, right?
Yeah.
So
And cayenne gets it a little bit up on its feet, you know.
Yeah. Now, in terms of down home, where are you from originally, Elsie?
Mount Washington.
Oh, you're way down south in Mount Washington.
No, Pittsburgh.
I know. I'm just teasing you. So you're right from here in this part of the world.
Yes.
Oh, well, where'd you learn how to cook?
Mothers usually start you out.
Yeah. So you learned in the kitchen at home. Mm-hmm.
Now here we go.
So you're gonna first you shake off the flour. I see. Now, when you were cooking, you had, as you said, out of falling water. How many people did you have to cook for? Was this like a big crowd? Or?
Well, no, there was only Mr. and Mrs. Kaufman, unless they were having company.
Mm-hmm. All right, and dredge that in some breadcrumbs, dried breadcrumbs. There's all different kinds of breadcrumbs now, aren't there? There's
all different kinds.
panko, and there's.
I love panko.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems to be it has crispier.
Uh-huh. All right, and then get that all coated with the egg first, huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The breadcrumbs we have here actually have some seasoning in them too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And there's parsley.
Little parsley, but so that wouldn't be traditional in terms of down home cooking, but it won't taste bad, will it?
It will save the day.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
We'll get that going. I think I got the oil going pretty good here, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to put one of these pieces in.
Okay.
So that it can start to fry up. It's a good way to test it to see if it's hot enough. Should be about 360 to 365 degrees. You want it to be hot enough so that it actually sears it up on the outside and doesn't soak it, soak through with the oil. Now, I thought maybe you came from the South and then ended up cooking here in Pittsburgh. So many of the people who sent us recipes came from different places, Alabama and North Carolina and all these places.
You want one more?
Yeah, why not? We have a lot of people to feed. We're going to have to fry up all that catfish, People always ask us, what do you do with all of that food? And the answer is there's never any problem. Never any problem getting rid of the food that we cook here on the show. That oil was just a little bit warm. I turned it down a little bit. So we'll do 2 more pieces. And you got another piece there. That's good.
This will do it.
Okay, I'll get that in. All right, now let's clear this away so that we have a chance to taste some of this. We'll put this in here. Now, I have to say, these little fishies are just about as cute as, whoop, I have to eat this one.
They're very tender.
I need some of that butter, Elsie. There you go. Put a little butter on these muffins. Now this, you make your regular cornbread recipe, but you make it in a cast iron mold, you said?
Yes, they're cast iron, and those things are so heavy.
Wow.
But sometimes this tastes as well cold as it does when it's hot.
Yeah.
These little things.
Well, as I say, I always have to taste these things to make sure they're safe, Elsie. It's safe. It's safe.
Good, good.
So what do you have on the horizon while we wait for this fish to fry up? What's your next project?
Not too much right now.
No.
Aside from my tours for Falling Water, not too long ago I took 12 ladies, and we had a marvelous time.
And I know that you're working on a cookbook of your own. Well,
With
it's
my
actually your
good friend Suzanne Martinson.
Right, Suzanne Martinson and Bob Sendell, and those folks are working on a
And
cookbook with you.
we lost Jane Citron.
Yes, that's right. She was working on a cookbook. Jane is, many of you know, Jane, she used to work for Pittsburgh Magazine, as a matter of fact. A terrific teacher and author. And so we're looking forward to that book.
Jane was going to have a chapter in our book. But we were sad that she passed away.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to serve up some of this as if we were going to have some. I'm going to put one of these on here. I'm going to put one of these on here. And have a little taste of your... Oh, that looks so crunchy.
And you know, the Southerners, they never spoiled it with horseradish sauce or anything like that.
Oh,
well,
my,
don't
my.
exclude me.
No, oh yes, Elsie, I'm sitting here eating just like...
Because I didn't have any breakfast.
Oh my goodness, Elsie. So there you go. We need some catfish for breakfast. How do you think it came?
Very good.
Yeah, crunchy and very moist on the inside. A very simple recipe, but real down-home cooking. This is a meal that if you served it with a little bit of kale, a little smothered kale would be great.
Where are the greens?
We're going to be making greens in a little while. So we'll save some of this catfish, and we'll have lunch. You'll have greens and catfish and some more of these terrific corned fish, which I love. So thank you again, Elsie. It's wonderful always to have you in the kitchen. We learn so much from you every single time you come here.
That's true.
And you learn from Elsie every time she comes here. And Elsie's recipes for cornbread and for her catfish are in our latest cookbook. And here's how you can get your very own copy.